of, I think, both the client and the seller, which is selecting the right partner. We hear a lot, and I'll be honest with you. If anybody in here is in the sales space, with anything that you're selling, whether it is a product or a service, I think selecting the right product or the right partner, in this case, actually the right partner is more fitting for service sales. We always hear the client wants to make sure they're selecting the right partner, and I think, yes, 100% that is important. It's also the other way around. When working at Nova, we want to make sure that we are uh, working with folks that make sense for us as well, and selecting the right client. And it's there's a lot of things that go into that, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about when we were talking about trust. That Jessica and I are really big, and everybody at Nova, in building trust with our clients. That in itself is helpful in being able to move forward with partners, and in selecting the right partner. I think this is certainly again a valid fear, right? Like, especially for some of our clients or potential clients who haven't had good experiences in the past. How do we minimize that? Personally, Jessica, I would love to hear what you think. I think time. I think that, as Jessica mentioned, when we're going through the sales process, um, more often than not, we're not going to be able to turn something around in a month. Can we? Probably. Do we want to? Not really, right? Because taking the time to build the relationship, having a couple of calls, talking through things, taking the clay on the table and turning it into what feels good for the client, and also for us, as we're going to be delivering the work for you. That's the trust piece, right? Being honest and vulnerable with each other in the conversation, being true to who you are as someone that's advocating for your business on both sides, right? So I think there's the time piece is really where I think it's really helpful in selecting the right partners. At Nova, real examples, we have worked with folks, and we've gotten to almost the closing process of signing the contract. And sometimes on both ends, we're like, you know what, this just isn't feeling right. Sometimes it's just us being like, hey, appreciate the opportunity. We're going to have to walk away. And sometimes it's people being like, hey, thanks, Nova, but we found a partner that works a little bit better. So again, the time piece, I think, is really important. Jess, anything to add to that?
Yeah. Something what you were mentioning earlier, us prioritizing women, Black and brown folks. I have witnessed a few times where if the client isn't a good fit, even if we're into the work, if harm is being caused to our team members, we are very protective, very passionate about the folks that work here at Nova. And if we have to say goodbye to a client, we will. So it just goes back to making sure and ensuring that it's a good fit. And sometimes we don't find that out until we're knee deep in the work. But then decisions have to be made just to ensure that everyone is getting, what they needed, and no one is being harmed.
Yes.